Hey there, welcome back. So anyways, basics of angles. Angles are going to have an initial side. This is the starting. This is considered the start. Hence the term initial. Kind of like your initials, the starting letter. Terminal side, ending side. You have two ways of measuring angles. Angles can either be measured positively, and it's going to go this way. This is going to be a positive angle measurement. And so for that, that's going counterclockwise. And then the other direction is a negative angle. That's going to be a negative angle measure. And that's going clockwise. Now those two angles together, generally, not all the time as you will see, because we're going to talk about angles that, the same angle that has more than one measurement, but are generally, if you're doing under 360 degrees, will add up to be 360 degrees. So for example, this angle here might be, what's that, probably about 250, let's call it 250 degrees, which means that the other angle is going to be 110. Oops, sorry, a negative 110. Ooh, trig measures. So when we start doing trig measures, chapter 5 is going to be all basically right triangle trig. Chapter 6 is going to be dealing with circles and standard positions, and then angles, or chapter 7 will be proofs. Standard position. Okay, standard position is with your initial side. Initial side is at 0 degrees. Okay, so you would have one side there, that's your initial side. And then you'll have a coterminal side, or your terminal side, excuse me. So you've got another angle out here, and it can really go, wherever. Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4, go around and around and around and around. And it can also go this way. Okay, so let's say it's here. Boop. And they're going to ask you, and let's say, they're going to give you some information. So, but anyway, standard position is always here. And then you're going to measure it. Generally, more often than not, you're going to measure it in the positive direction. So this is approximately 140 degrees. And they're going to ask you, ooh, how much is it in that direction? And you're like, ooh, hard one, to negative 220 degrees. Then they're going to ask you this. They're going to ask you, write another positive angle measurement for this angle that's not equal to 140. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to go around the world once and then end here. Okay, so how many degrees are we going to have to add onto that? Yes. No, you in the green. What? You're right, add 360 onto that. So you've got 140 plus 360. You can get 500 degrees. And guess what? You could keep doing that over and over and over. And now, you use this stuff well, not you guys probably don't use this stuff, but, skateboarding, slam dunking, X Games. Have you done a 720? There you go, 2 full rotations. Oh, figure skating, maybe. So they're going to ask you this. Now, the thing which that is that those are going to be called, wait for it, boop, coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are angles that share a terminal side, hence the prefix co there. Company, together, codependent, dependent upon each other. Cooperative, working with each other. Okay, so that share a terminal side and are multiples of 360 degrees apart. And you got an angle here. And I tell you, oh, look, that's 75 degrees. And if I ask you to find the least positive in the next least positive coterminal degree, then you're going to go to the smallest positive number that hasn't been used yet. So in this case, you would add 360 degrees into it. So you're like, oh, look, I now have 435 degrees. Or you could add 360 onto it again. And then you'd get 795 degrees. You could add 360 onto it again. We here at Angle Talk tend to pride ourselves in correctness. Now you can also go the other direction. If you wanted to go negative, if they ask you for a negative coterminal angle, then you just subtract 360 off of it. So you're going to subtract 360 off of it. We're going to come up with a negative 285 degrees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now the general form of coterminal angles, we don't do it so much here, but you will use this in pre-calculus. You'll use it in calculus. You'll use this. Well, if you ever drive cross country, I'm sure you're going to use this a couple of times. So it's going to be angle. So like in this case, you'd go 75 degrees plus 360 n degrees, where n equals the number of rotations. And n is an integer, because you can't quite have half of a rotation. Well, you can't. So if it's a 1, you've gone around 1 extra time. If it's a 2, you've gone around 2 extra time. If it's 10,000, you've gone around 10,000 extra times. I'd like to thank my studio audience and everyone over at the production company for helping me out. And we will see you